Well, Grant, should we start with Michael Smith in the Northern Ireland squad? Reward for some more good performances.
No, it's nice for him to be involved. I had a conversation with Michael the other day about what he'd need to do to try and cement a regular spot in the team. He's fully aware of that now. So it's good for him to be involved. Two good games. I think they play San Marino and then they play Germany away, I think. So it'd be good, two contrast games, but one where they should win and then one where they're going to play one of the best teams in Europe. So it'll be a great experience for him.
Yeah, and on the flip side, of course, from the club's point of view, you miss him for. I think you miss him for the Bury game, don't you? So you'll have to do a bit of juggling at right back.
Yeah, he'll miss the MK Dons game and he'll miss the Bury game. So opportunity for Hayden. He's well aware of that. Hayden, you come in, you play well, you keep your place in the team. That's something I've always said from the start of the season. So looking forward to seeing how he's improved over the previous weeks in training. He's done well in the reserve games we've done. So looking forward to that.
Is there a feeling, Grant, that someone is going to be on the end of a thrashing at some point soon? Because you've hinted, haven't you, since the Millwall game that you're about to dish run out and it hasn't quite happened. Do you think someone is going to be on the end of one in the next couple of weeks?
I hope so, really. I mean, that's it. You can get yourself really, really down about the chances we're not taking. I had a little meeting with the boys this morning about a 10-game review sort of thing and showed them a lot of facts really and stats about this is where we are at the minute. We need to improve on it. We need to improve on our discipline. We need to improve on our chances. We need to improve on our defending. So there's loads to work on. But I keep going on and I keep saying it. We are playing well. We are creating the chances. Now we need to see some killers in there in terms of a killer instinct in front of goal or a killer instinct to keep the ball out of our net. And that's what I'm demanding of them now.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the 10-game assessment. 10 league games gone. What would be the kind of overall summary so far, do you think?
Played well. Not one. Probably I would say the Bradford game is the only one that really disappointed me in terms of our performance. Possibly Oxford in periods as well, but the rest of them we've been well and truly good enough to get some points out of the game. I know some of them we haven't, but we know we're close to hopefully beating somebody 3 or 4-0. If it happens on Saturday, great. If it don't, we'll move on to the next one. But we'll stay positive. The lads are positive. We had a good meeting with them this morning, and everyone's clear on the objectives moving forward.
It may be a small crumb of comfort, but I guess it's got to be encouraging and a good thing that you're keeping the points tally ticking over. In the past, Posh have been either win or loss. There's been nothing in between, and when things haven't gone for you, you've been picking up draws at least just to keep the points tally going over. So can you take a bit of a crumb of comfort from that?
I think I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago and I was saying about Scunthorpe that I went to watch them and they didn't play well, but they got a draw. We're playing well, so that's probably the frustrating thing. We are playing well, we are creating the chances. It's just about killing them now. But yeah, over the years, a Peterborough team has never drawn many games really. It's probably since I've been here, they either win or lose. So if you win a couple of games, all of a sudden them draws look like good results, So that's the messages we need to keep telling the players and stay positive. You can easily go the other way. You can say, you haven't won in 5 or you've lost 1 in 5. It's whatever way you look at it. And the way I look at it, we've lost 1 in 5. We're building on what we're doing, and we want to try and create more chances to give our forwards more opportunities to score. But mainly we need to have that platform to build from and try and keep more clean sheets, because we've only kept 1 in the league this season, and the feeling the boys got after that game to keep that clean sheet at MK Dons was brilliant. So they're well aware that we need to keep more clean sheets.
Taylor and Nichols, both 8 appearances now without a goal. Is there just a feeling that you persevere because they're both too good at players to sort of let that barren run continue?
I've got players who can play, up there. I said, I think Tom will come good. He's a good player. And one thing about Tom is that he keeps smiling every day. It doesn't get him down. Tails is the same. They're smiling. They're bubbly. They don't get down when they miss chances. And good players do that. They don't get too down when you miss chances, because they've all done it. Centre forwards through the years missed chances and chance upon chance. And I think Craig McCall-Smith was here. He used to miss a lot of chances. Yeah, he did score a lot of goals, but he did miss a lot of chances. So it'll come for Tom and Tails. There's no two ways about it. It'll come for the both of them, and they just need to stay positive.
Do you have to keep reminding Nichols as well that he's of course stepping up to League One football? I know he played a few games at the end of last season, but this is his first full campaign at this level.
Yeah, possibly. But I mean, in terms of the top teams in League Two and League One, there's not much of a difference really. You know, in terms of the standard for me, is a big massive difference when you had the Championship and then obviously the Premier League. But you score goals in League Two, you can score goals in League One. There's no two ways about that, and Tom knows that.
Tafazoli sent off, of course, on Tuesday night. Have you appealed that? Will you appeal it, or do you take that one on the chin?
We've appealed it on the grounds that Michael Boswick may have got a block at the end of it. You know, he may have stopped the shot. It was a foul. We've seen it back a few times. If Bozzy wasn't round on the cover sort of thing, we wouldn't have appealed it. We've had advice from two referees. They both said that very unlikely we'll get off it, but you might as well appeal it in terms of the ground if Michael Boswick probably would have blocked the shot. So we're waiting for a decision from the FA today. It was obviously clear that the foul was outside the box, but we can't appeal that. That's a completely different matter. We're appealing the sending off, thinking that Bozzy may have got a block. So we'll wait and see on the decision, and let's touch wood on it really.
Yeah, and you've got Jack Baldwin obviously to come back in if Tafazoli has to serve a one game.
Yeah, Jack's ready. He's been a bit unfortunate to come out of the team, to be fair, and you know, I've got, like I said to you last week, I've got 3 good centre halves. I've got Ricardo improving, so it's, you know, Taff. To be fair, for the 60 odd minutes he was on the other day, Taff was really really good. Him and Buzzy, and then we had a little lapse of 5 minutes concentration that killed us at Shrewsbury, but there's no drama with Jack coming in the team if it doesn't get rescinded.
Southend then, a side who I think Phil Brown's been under a bit of pressure in recent weeks. They got a great win on Tuesday night, didn't they? Just to alleviate that a bit, so they'll come into this one with their tails up. You would have thought. Yeah,
I think they've had a good win, then they got beaten, then they've got another good win. So they've picked up a little bit. They've picked up, their form's picked up. You know, when you've got such an experienced manager as Phil, you're going to get your team. You're going to turn your team around. There's no two ways about it. I know his number 2, Graham. So they work hard, and I'm sure his teams do that. Well, his teams have done that over the years. They're an experienced team. It's going to be a tough game for us, as it always is at Southend, but one that we're confident getting into, especially the way we're playing at the minute.
Where are their threats, do you think, Grant? Where will they look to try and get at you?
Well, we know about Mooney. Obviously, over the years when he's been at Leyton Orient, he's always a threat for them, especially aerially in the box. So we need to be aware of him. They've got threats all through their team. We just need to make sure that our threats are a bigger threat to them than theirs. So.
You always want to start a game well, of course, but the fact that they have been down there, are down there sort of nearer the bottom, and confidence maybe, despite the win the other day, maybe a little fragile. Is starting the game well all the more important when you think about that?
I think it's 10 games into the season. I think that's really sort of a team at the bottom they can win to, and they can back into it's a relevant sort of thing. You know, the league is that tight in terms of your league position. I think their confidence will be fine. I think I'm right in saying they've won 2 of the last 3, so they'll be quite confident getting into the game. But so are we. I'm confident. I'm actually very confident that my team's playing well. We just need to start killing teams off now.
You had a behind closed doors friendly yesterday, I think it was. Did anyone sort of put their hand up and really stake their claim in that victory? It
was actually a good. I was disappointed with the previous one. I didn't think the attitude was there, but it was yesterday. Everyone put a really good shift in. Attitude was spot on. Lincoln brought quite a lot of first team players down to play as well. So it was a good performance. Be wrong for me to single anyone out, but. There was 3 or 4 people that caught my eye, to be fair, and probably come into the thinking for the weekend.
And that must, you said the attitude in the previous game wasn't right. That must drive you mad as a manager, because you've said time and time again that if people are impressed, then you'll think about them getting a starting place. So the fact they weren't quite at it that week must have grinded your gears a bit, I guess.
I think that's the biggest thing. Do you know, when you play in them 21 games, you realise as you get older, they are a young group. You realise that you're not in the starting 11, so we've got a 21 game, 23 game during the week. The teams drew. The manager may want to change 1 or 2 positions, and may not. But you want to improve, you want to impress, you want to try and get in the team, just like Ryan Tafazoli did. I had the conversation with the 21 boys after the game. last week, that they explained that to them, that this is your opportunity. You can look as good as you want in training, but it's ultimately what you do in a game. So it's important that they put the performances in them games to get in my head to play in the first team and show me they're ready to play in the first team.
Yeah, and injury-wise, we obviously know about Angle, Anderson and Inman. How about everyone else? Is everyone looking okay for this weekend?
Yeah, Fuzzy picked up a little knock at Shrewsbury, but he'll be fine. I think he played about 45 minutes with a little niggle, but he'll be fine. Everybody else is good to go. One thing that's been improving in terms of our fitness, and it's taking its toll on our injuries as well. We're not getting too many, obviously apart from the long term ones. We aren't getting too many little knocks and niggles, so it's good.